And hello YouTube, GSPAM Smart here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at all the videos ArenaNet has released regarding Living World Season 3 Episode 6. We got a trailer, we got I think 2 or 3 videos on their Twitter account, so go over all that, get you up to speed, and let's get ready for this next episode coming July 25th, this coming Tuesday. Hey everybody, GSPAM Smart here. Today we're on another brand new video for Gaming with GS. Thanks for stopping by and watching another one of my videos. If you happen to be new to the channel, new to my videos, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. Plenty of other Guild Wars 2 content videos on the channel regarding new trailers, news, gameplay, reviews, guides, gold guides, all kind of cool stuff. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in Guild Wars 2, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button as well as that post notification bell so you can stay up to date with all the most recent videos. So it's been a pretty crazy week in the news area of Guild Wars 2. ArenaNet has released several things regarding Living World Season 3 Episode 6. We all know it's releasing July 25th, but they've also released the trailer this past Tuesday. Now I was gonna create a video on Wednesday about it, but I thought, you know what, maybe they'll release a bunch more stuff, and they actually did. They released more Twitter videos. We got word on a new Fractal even. A lot of speculation has been going on about the new trailer even, and we're gonna take a look at that today. I'll have the trailer playing in the background. Before we do that, I do want to take a look at some of these smaller video clips that we got from ArenaNet on their Twitter account. One thing I will say is that ArenaNet has done a really good job at teasing a lot of these things. Rather than people leaking the content or data mining it, they've actually just come straight out and said, you know, here's a new legendary clip. This is what's going to be coming next patch. Here's a new Fractal that's going to be coming. Here's how the new map is going to sort of look. And that's kind of what these new Twitter videos that they've released are about. So far from what we've seen from these Twitter videos, from what we've seen from the new trailer, what's coming July 25th is a new legendary weapon, a new map, a new Fractal, and the new map is supposed to be kind of Orion. A lot of people were thinking it'd be a lot greener, and as did I. We'll go over the trailer and I'll give you some of my thoughts there. But on one of the Twitter videos, they did give some footage of the area being a lot more greener. Now I'll go over that in a bit, but the first thing I want to start off with today's video is the short clip that we got, and we barely even see anything. It's a super short clip of ArenaNet just saying, here, a new Fractal's coming July 25th. So, a lot of speculation on what this new Fractal could be about. No one really knows. There are no hints given. As we go through the trailer, I do have one theory that Fractal might be related to something in the trailer that we see, but I'll go over that when we get to that point. There's another clip that they put on Twitter which was about a new hammer, and this is actually a new legendary hammer, it looks like. It's a very short 11-second clip. We see someone walking through ore, I imagine it is. And they have a brand new legendary hammer on their back, and I gotta say, it looks pretty cool. I'm glad to see they're consistently releasing new legendaries, and that's not off the table, which is great. A hammer is a very popular weapon. A lot of Guardians use it. I think maybe Warrior uses it a bit too. So great new weapon. The skin looks great. Obviously we don't see the full scale of the weapon or any of the special effects that it may have, but I'm liking it already. I can't wait to see how it looks in game. So those are the two things I wanted to go over before we get into the trailer. But let's go ahead and get into the trailer now. If you haven't seen the trailer yet, I'll leave a link in the description. You can click it or bring you to the official release of the trailer on the ArenaNet channel for Guild Wars 2, and you can watch it. Otherwise, you'll see it in the background as we talk about a few of the things that I noticed and I thought were worth mentioning and talking about. Now, the first thing that stands out to me clearly from the start is that the music choice that they decided to use here is exceptional. They've decided to use the main Heart of Thorns theme song, the exact same theme song that plays in Character Select when you enter the game and you're sitting in front of all your characters on that screen. That's the music that was used, and I think that's a really cool way to end sort of the Heart of Thorns era off. This is the last episode in the Heart of Thorns expansion, if you want to look at it that way. and I'm glad that they're ending it with that theme song as we move into a brand new expansion, which should be coming in the next 2, 3, 4 months maybe. We'll have to see what news come about that. Now, the opening text, as soon as this trailer starts, has been confusing a few people, including myself. It does say that all the gods have left Tyria, and there's only one remaining. There's one that stayed behind. But who was that one person that stayed behind? You know, up to this point, a lot of people who played Guild Wars 1 and Guild Wars 2, and even the lore in Guild Wars 2 basically says that the gods are not on Tyria. They left Tyria. So, the fact that they're saying one stayed behind, they're obviously alluding to Balthasar staying behind, is a bit confusing, but maybe we'll get some more clarification on that. Or maybe it's not Balthasar at all. Maybe it's a completely different person. They've done a pretty good job at surprising a few of us with the recent releases, so maybe it's someone completely different that we don't even know about. But I'm pretty sure they're alluding to Balthasar here. After that piece of text, we get a lot of old footage that we already saw. We get some footage from Bitterfrost Frontier. We get some footage from Ember Bay, and a lot of previous footage they used in other trailers they've put into this trailer. I'm not sure if that's supposed to signify something. I don't know if that's supposed to mean a lot of the things that you saw on all the other maps, or a lot of the masters you saw on all the other maps, or a lot of the enemies you saw on all the other maps are going to be in this new map, are going to be involved in this new story. It could mean that they're sort of bringing everything together into trying to give a mixture of everything into the new map. And you'll see as we go through the trailer and as I talk about these things, there are several different elements incorporated from other maps into this new map that we can see in the new trailer. So maybe that's what it could mean, or maybe they just needed some extra footage so the trailer isn't super short. Either one of those. They tend to always have like random character footage, or even footage from things that we've already seen in the past, so who knows why that was there. We do see Omad's machine, some footage of that, which we also saw already in a cutscene from last episode. But during the part where we see these clips, we do get a voiceover, and it's a new voiceover. I'm not sure who this voice is. I can't really think of anyone that sounds like that.
Your divine lord is threatening all of Tyria. If another dragon dies, we all die.
It could just be a player character. It definitely sounds like a Norn. It doesn't sound like any particular Norn. I don't play a Norn character, so maybe that's who it is. But we do get to hear that someone knows about the dragons, and the fact that if we kill another dragon, then everyone basically perishes from that. We know that from the last episode, from the most recent Living World Season 3 episode 5, the Timey figured out that if we were to kill another dragon, then the effect of that would end up wiping out entirety of Tyria. So that wasn't something that was made public. Only the commander and I think Timey may have known about that. So maybe this has now been made public. Maybe at the start of the next episode we'll be informing people about this, or maybe it's just a player character saying something to Timey or saying something to another character, and maybe Tyria still doesn't know. That's an interesting piece that I picked out. We are seeing more snow areas shown in the trailer as well, so maybe we'll move around through Bitterfrost Frontier again. One of the things that I didn't really like about Bitterfrost Frontier was that there was one area that we never really used, which was the very cold Arctic area. I forget the name of it right now, but that didn't have much use to it, so maybe we'll go back there. But it is curious to me why they're showing a good amount of Bitterfrost Frontier footage. It wouldn't be surprising if we do end up going back to other maps, if we do end up visiting Ember Bay or visiting Bitterfrost Frontier. Maybe that's why they added a bunch of old footage from the start of the trailer. Or maybe we'll just be visiting Bitterfrost Frontier. Who knows, though? We'll have to see what happens there. We do see a Mersat construct next. Maybe another enemy we're fighting there. And then from this point on, we pretty much get a bunch of new footage. Now, the first piece of new footage that we see, it looks like a ghost. And I'm not sure what kind of ghost this is. It might be an Orion ghost, but this definitely looks like an interesting character here. After that, we get some type of Lich Undead type of character. Which is also not something we've really ever seen in Guild Wars 2 either, that I can, that stands out to me. This is also pretty new. But it is related to, I imagine, to the character that we saw, to the lady that we saw just a second ago, because both of them are wearing some type of golden colors. So maybe the maybe the Orient Ghost and the Lich Undead are somehow related. But what's even more interesting though, aside from the footage that we're seeing, is the voiceover that we're getting, which says that Kryta must make uncommon allies.
At a time when elder dragons endanger the whole world, Kryta must make uncommon allies.
Now, the Orient Ghosts and definitely the Undead are not Krytan's allies. We were fighting against them usually, and we fight against them in Guild Wars too. So these are definitely some possible uncommon allies. Does that mean that we might have to partner up with the Ghosts or partner up with the Undead? That would be pretty crazy, and maybe that's the reason why we're seeing this type of Lich Undead type person. Maybe he'll be the one or she'll be the one who helps us form an alliance with, you know, the Undead. Maybe that could be a possibility. The next shot, we see another person coming out of the fire. Not entirely sure who that is, but this might be another person that we might have to partner with. She's coming out of the flames, so maybe it's some type of relation to Balthazar. You know, why else would the person come out of the flames? Every time we've seen something come out of the flames, it seems like it's a relation to Balthazar. So in this specific clip, we see a lady coming out of the flames. Maybe it's related to Balthazar. And like I said, maybe we'll be partnering up with some of Balthazar's minions, maybe. I'm not really sure. Maybe we'll have to make an uncommon ally with this lady here. Maybe we'll have to make an uncommon ally with the Lich Undead that we saw, because as we see all these clips, all these like 1-2 second clips, that voiceover is continuous over those clips. So maybe these are the uncommon allies that we have to partner up with to actually defeat what's coming up, or to deal with the greater evil of, you know, that if we kill another dragon, the entire world's gonna die anyway. So maybe there's something much greater than having to deal with dragons right now that we'll find out. The next piece of footage that we see are some statues, and these look like Abaddon statues, but one thing that's curious to me is that it's kind of weird how we see Abaddon statues when, you know, all knowledge about Abaddon was pretty much wiped off of Tyria a long time ago. So it wouldn't really make too much sense why we see Abaddon statues in the open world. So this is where I'm thinking this might be the new Fractal. Fractal obviously, you know, brings you through time. You learn about the history, you learn about the lore. We basically go through time and go to different areas of Tyria and through history. So maybe these Abaddon statues are part of some type of Fractal that we're going to, and that would be really awesome, getting some extra lore and extra story on Abaddon, something that we haven't gotten pretty much a lot of at all in Guild Wars 2. The only thing that seems kind of weird though then is, if you look in the background to the right, there is a, you know, giant thing hanging. It looks like we're pretty high up in the sky. And I'm not sure if that's related to the Orient map, or if it is related to a fractal. But if it is a fractal, that would be really awesome, because we don't have a fractal about Abaddon, and that would be really cool to learn more about what's happening in that part of the story in Guild Wars. The next shot that we see is the new ore map, and surprisingly, I thought that they were going to give us restored or cleansed ore. That was what a lot of people speculated. I wish they would have given us, you know, some type of new and restored and cleansed ore where things would be a lot greener. There'd be a lot more greenery, and trees and flowers would be blooming and whatnot. But then again, maybe that's raising my expectations a bit too high. It kind of just looks like the same as Malkor's Leap and Cursed Shore looks, so a bit disappointed in that though. But you'll see as we look at the Twitter video later on in this video, you'll see that maybe the map isn't as dead and as dark as, you know, what we're seeing in the trailer here. It does look like there are some greener and brighter areas in it. The next piece of footage also shows us that we are going to be exploring some type of water area. We do see boats and docks behind this character that we see on screen. So you definitely can't judge the map off of a few clips, because this map could be pretty diverse. We might be near the water, we might be near the docks, so maybe we'll get some water content, maybe we'll get some greener areas, and maybe they'll also mix in, you know, the classic Malkor's Leap style environment, which some people like. I don't personally like it too much. Another shot of the ore map here. Now what's interesting to me here is that we have some type of portals or glyphs or something on the ground, some type of purple marks on the ground. And I'm not sure if this might be related to the new mastery. Could we get another mastery that deals with these glyphs in the floor? Maybe it's a jumping puzzle, maybe it's some type of puzzle that you have to solve, part of the story. I'm not sure, but it looks like it might be related to a new mastery, but we'll have to see exactly what this does. Maybe we can interact with it and some type of area of effect attack happens. Who knows, we'll have to see, but just some ideas that I had in mind there. The next shot, we have some type of bearded man here. I don't really recognize this person. It might just be a player character again because it doesn't look like anything familiar. After that, we have a Char, which also looks like a player character. Doesn't look like anything familiar to me either. This is the part where they're just sort of adding filler footage, so nothing there. Then we do see some Undead Pirates though. Could we be partnering up with the pirates even? That would be kind of interesting. We see some oak carts as well, but why are oak carts in ore? That's what's kind of questionable there. Could it mean, like I said earlier, that there could be some more greener and lively areas where oak carts could thrive in? Because I don't see oak carts traveling around in, you know, Orian areas. That's just a bit weird. So then we see some type of undead creatures that look like the gorillas in the, I believe they're in the Ara dungeon, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen them before somewhere. So glad to see that those are returning. Those are some pretty interesting enemies to fight. So those are really awesome. Then we see some undead giants. Whether that will count to the Giant Slayer achievement, that would be interesting because currently there are only a few giants that you could kill in the game to get that achievement. I still haven't gotten it, so that's the first thing that popped in my head. Whoa, a giant. If this could actually count towards the Giant Slayer achievement, that would be really cool. We do see a shot of a dragon here. I'm not sure what type of dragon this could be though. Whether it's a new world boss, whether it's just some type of event, whether it's just some type of, you know, regular boss, legendary that spawns every 20 minutes or so. No idea. The dragon does look cool though, but recently in the past episodes, we haven't really gotten any huge challenging world bosses, so not too sure or not very hopeful in, you know, how good this one would be. We see some Sylvari, we see some lava, and this is what I was saying, we do see some lava here. How that got to ore, I have no idea. Maybe from Balthazar, maybe he, you know, traveled through ore, who knows, but it's good to see that a lot of different races are involved in this, so I'm not really sure that's supposed to mean something. You know, like I said, we do hear about, you know, Tyria having to create uncommon allies and people coming together and staying together to fight this greater evil here. But they haven't really shown such a diverse number of races in previous trailers. It seems like in this trailer they're showing a lot of different characters, a lot of different races, undead, oak hearts, a lot of different things. So it's really interesting to see what they're gonna do and how this plays out. And then we do get another piece of audio that talks about that the time has come and if you're ready to fulfill a prophecy.
The time has come. You ready to fulfill a prophecy? Go! Save the world. Save Tyria.
Now, interestingly enough, the Guild Wars 2 Twitter page did seem to focus on this piece of audio. They tweeted it again. So this seems to be something important. What type of prophecy we're fulfilling here, I'm not entirely sure. It could be related to Glint's prophecy. It could be related to Aurene. Will she play a bigger role now in the story? That could be a possibility, but... And then we get the One Path Ends title. An interesting title they chose here. Decided to go with One Path Ends. A bit of a strange title because I mean all the other titles that we've gotten for Living World Season 3 have been a bit more related to, you know, the environment that we go to or something drastic happening that has a huge effect. One Path Ends, I don't really see, you know, what that could relate to as far as the trailer goes. I think what they wanted to do was say one path ends and then another begins with the new expansion coming out. So that's what I'm guessing they wanted to do. And one of the Twitter posts that they actually posted does say that. They say one path ends and another one begins. So I'm guessing they really wanted to, you know, have that title there just so they can transition really cool into the expansion. The other thing is that the expansion letters have been released, the acronym for it. You know how Heart of Thorns is HOT. well, the letters for the next expansion have been leaked as well. I'm not sure if this is very accurate. I don't even know what the main source was from it. I saw it on Reddit though, and a lot of people commented on it and upvoted it, so I imagine this is maybe somewhat accurate, but take it with a grain of salt. It seems like the acronym is POF, and if you're thinking about, well, if the episode 6 is called One Path Ends, then what could the expansion be called? P, maybe for Path, Path of Fire, maybe? I'm not sure, but P might be Path. So maybe that's why they wanted to name it One Path Ends. Once again, just, you know, speculating here, not entirely sure if this is 100% accurate. And that pretty much sums up the trailer. You know, if you're watching it if you're just watching it casually, there's not a lot to pick at in this trailer. In fact, a lot of it is reused footage. You know, we do see some footages from new characters being involved. I think the voiceovers tell a lot more than the footage tells. It's nice to see, you know, the new map that we see, and it's nice to see that, you know, some of the new enemies that we're fighting. But I felt like there wasn't really a huge ton to take from this trailer. But once you know, watch it slowly, and, you know, if you stop it and pause it here and there's a lot you can actually pick out. There's a huge debate on one of the characters that we saw in the trailer. As I was mentioning earlier, the lady that comes out of the fire. A lot of people are thinking this is Livia, and Livia was actually someone that was part of the previous Guild Wars game. I know Wooden Potatoes is thinking this might be Livia. Some people are thinking that Livia is hiding as a niece, and that's how Olivia comes into the story. So I'm not really entirely sure if that's 100% accurate. I don't really think it's Livia. She could have some type of relation to this episode, but we'll have to see. It definitely would be awesome to see her in the next episode. And, you know, that was one of the storylines that ArenaNet never really, you know, followed up with and gave a clear ending to, and we don't really know exactly what's happening with her, so it would be cool to have her in the next episode, but I just don't know how possible it is. But a lot of speculation around this trailer. It's definitely a great trailer if you're into the lore, if you're into, you know, the different storylines that are in Guild Wars. I think it's great, and there definitely is enough in the trailer for us to get hyped about, but I do think, you know, past trailers, there was a bit more in them. Maybe it's just because other trailers haven't, you know, used as much reused footage. Maybe that's my gripe with it, but who knows. Overall, I think the trailer was great though. I loved the music. I loved how the music was incorporated. I loved how the audio voiceover had a lot to talk about, had a lot to speculate about, and I think this next episode is going to be pretty good. Now, I do want to go over one more thing. It's the Twitter video that was posted, and it looks like it's actually a Vista part of the new map. And if you take a look at it, it looks like there is actually a bit more greenery in this area. This is an area that we don't even see in the trailer at all, but it looks pretty different from the regular Orient map that we do see in the trailer. So this looks like a vista. Like I said, it might be a small area in the map that looks more greener than not. I remember in, what was it called, the map Ember Bay, a lot of people thought that, you know, the trailer showed this greenery area, and people thought, oh, you know, it's gonna be a very greenery area with a lot of plants and everything, but in reality, that area of the map was only a small portion. It was the southern area of the map, and it was pretty much a small section cut off from the rest of the map. Most of the map was lava, you know, burned lava, rubble, rock, and that's what Ember Bay was. It was primarily that, and there was a small area of greenery. So it goes to show that you can't really judge the entire map off of a trailer. This vista that we see here could be another small cutoff area, or maybe what we're seeing in the trailer is that small cutoff area. So who knows, we'll have to see, but definitely excited for this new map. You know, we haven't gotten a new ore map in forever, since the start of the game. A lot of us haven't been to ore since the personal story, so it's been a long time, and it's really cool to go back there and see what happens. Now, one other thing that I did see on Reddit is someone coming up with a really cool possible map region. It was a quick little mock-up that they did with some clues from some of the shots from the trailers, from the Twitter videos, and they basically thought, well, this shot might be related to this region of the map. So I have that on screen up right now. It's definitely possible for some of these landmarks to be in this area, and it's definitely very possible for this map to be in this specific region of the world, especially since we know there's going to be some type of coastline that we're going to, especially since we know it's going to be in the Orion region. And if you think about, you know, where space is left in the map for an ore map to go, this region definitely looks very possible for the map to be in it. But I'm not too sure about the landmarks. Some of them could be very possible. Some of them could just be, you know, a wild guess. And I do also love that we're getting a mixture of a lot of different things in this map. We're getting some lava in the map, we're getting some water in the map, we're getting some high areas in the map. There was one shot in the trailer where there's a giant ship standing on top of some type of structure. We're able to climb that. Maybe that would be pretty cool. So we're getting high areas to glide through. We're getting some type of maybe minimal water content. We're getting lava content. We're getting regular grounded content, greenery, Orion. They're probably not going to incorporate some type of snowy area because it would make totally no sense. But what I'm interested in really is how they're going to incorporate some of the masteries. You know, one of the things about the mastery system is that they want to make them usable for future maps. And while I don't see that being a problem with the thermal tubes or with some of the bloodstone ones, or even with the new mastery that we got in Lake Doric, obviously that one's, you know, across the entire game. I don't see that a problem with the grappling hook mastery either. That could all be very possible, but I don't see how they're going to include the Kodan's flame mastery, the mastery that we got in Bitterfrost Frontier. And if that ends up only being a mastery that's good for one map, for only Bitterfrost Frontier, that would be kind of, you know, that would be kind of disappointing, because I would have loved to see that mastery be carried over to a new map. So maybe they'll incorporate it somehow into this new map, but I highly doubt it, because it just wouldn't really make much sense. The same way it wouldn't really make much sense to have some type of snow area in this map, which is definitely not going to happen. So we'll have to see what type of masteries they include. The more they include, the better though. And I think that pretty much sums up nicely everything that Arena has released. That's the summary of the trailer for you. That's my speculation and my thoughts about the trailer and my thoughts about all the Twitter videos that we've got. If you have any thoughts or speculation on something that I may have missed or not may have covered, leave a comment down below. I'll be down there reading your comments as usual and talking to you guys when I can. Love to hear your thoughts on the trailer and where this story might be going for this next episode coming July 25th. If you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like. We'd really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go and subscribe. Plenty of the videos on the channel regarding Guild Wars 2. And if you want to check out my most recent video, click the annotation here. Want to check out a similar videos to this one, click the annotation here. Want to subscribe to my other channels or this one, click the annotation here. And if you want to donate $1 to my Patreon page, you can click the annotation here. That's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching as always. And this is GS Man Smart. I'll be back sooner than you think. Don't go anywhere.